Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's film session. Before we get started, we gotta knock out the business. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Hit the thumbs up, share it to your friends, do all that, YouTube pagey stuff. Anyways, let's get into tonight's film. What we're gonna be doing, the rest of, for the foreseeable future, we're gonna be doing positional group breakdowns for the University of Georgia. Tonight, we're gonna be starting with the running backs. We'll do the film session here. Some of you might have caught this at the bottom of an SI article. That's all fine and dandy. If you haven't, check out the article. If you've just found this on, Twitter, or whether it be, just scrolling through YouTube, you guys head on over to Sports Illustrated's Bulldog Maven and check out the article and all that other fun stuff we do over there. That's si.com/college/Georgia. I'll probably drop a little fancy edit over it for you. But anyways, let's get into the running backs tonight. That's where we're going to be starting. We're going to be doing the guys on roster first, the three guys that will compete for carries this spring, and then we'll get into Kendall Milton as well. So we'll start with Samir White, then go into James Cook and Kinney Macintosh, and we'll finish tonight's session with Kendall Milton out there from Clovis, California. But, we're going to just mainly show you what each of these guys brings to the table. And we'll start with Samir here with, a clip I found from the Vanderbilt game. And I think this is just the epitome of what number 3 brings to the table. And it's just hard running and effort and power the entire time. Let's get this muted over here on the game film. But anyways, you see him run through a tackler, a would-be tackler, and then lower his head on the safety. Big Isaiah Wilson getting in there and throwing a block. But, man, this is just it right here, right? I mean, he's attacking the hole extremely, extremely hard, running downhill behind his pads. Look at the forward lean on this guy, okay? You see how he's, head over toes all the time. He's always with a forward lean at about 6'1", 235 pounds. Let's call him 230, maybe not 235, but he's heavy, right? And he's strong as hell, and he's driving that pile for about, an extra 6-7 yards after contact. Look, this is a 12, 13-yard run, and he gets first point of contact at 2 yards, okay? Look, boom, right here. Who's that? Trey Hill just kind of does the helicopter routine on his second-level defender right here. You see the helicopter routine? Watch him spin. Offensive lineman, when your arms are swung out like this, is never a good sign. Anyways, but he gets in there and pushes the pile and pulls Zeus a little further. But, this is what you're going to get from number 3. You're going to get hard forward lean. You're going to get a guy running with immense amount of effort and, a guy with some, capabilities in the open field. This was the number 1 running back in the country, but he's still bouncing back. I expect to see, a little bit of a more explosive number 3 next season in red and black, just because, when you're talking about a guy who scored on 1 out of every 4 carries in high school. Think about that. 1 out of every 4 rushing touches for Samir White were a touchdown in high school. This is a guy who can take it 50, or at least could, and one day might return to that form. But this right here is what you're going to get no matter what. A guy who can run through tackles and finish strong and run downhill. One thing's for certain, when you watch Samir White run, he has no interest in making you miss. He has every bit of interest in making you pay for trying to tackle him. Here he is against Murray State, just running in a little outside zone right here. And look at that, just putting the shoulder down on the safety, okay? Typically at this point right here from DeAndre Swift or a guy like that, you'd see outside right leg hit the ground, boom, hard stick inside, and let's get to the open space right here. Call that a dead leg, right? We've seen that 100 times from DeAndre Swift during his career. Little cheddar or a little, stutter step this way, plant the outside foot in the ground, and then get vertical. Not Samir White. Samir White is trying to get downhill over his pads and run over you. To the detriment of his own sometimes. But nonetheless, it's going to make you pay. And one thing I'm interested to see from Samir, if he does indeed get the chance to have 15 or 20 carries a game next year, is just what kind of, how much does he wear a defense down? How, in the third and fourth quarter, what does this guy look like? Is he gonna be willing to do this midway through the fourth quarter after having seen Samir White in the open space like this, 6 or 7 times throughout this football game? That's the question I'm interested to see answered this coming season from number 3, okay? On top of all the explosiveness and all that. But if he can get, 15, 20 carries per game, what's it going to look like in the fourth quarter? It's something you've seen with a guy like Derrick Henry, and this is similar running styles, right? He's not interested in making you miss like we talked about. He's interested in making you pay for trying to tackle him. What's that going to look like midway through the fourth? All right, got to be able to pass protect as a tailback in college, especially on 3rd and 3, right? So what you're going to see here is, Murray State's trying to get numbers advantage right here. They're going to put 3 defensive linemen down, one split out way here in a wide 9, and just one defender on the flip side over here. But what you should notice by now is this safety on the hash right here stacked over this outside linebacker who's already splitting the difference, is what we call this, right? He's playing in between number 2 wide receiver, and the left tackle. It's called splitting the difference with a safety on the hash. That tells you automatically as a quarterback and as a left tackle. See, Cade Mays doing a good job right here identifying this with his eyes. This guy is coming. He's blitzing right now. You should know that. So what you also know as a back is we've got 3 over here. We got 3 down linemen. We've got a guard over here and a tackle, right? So these 2, the left guard and Cade Mays, are going to be working to these 2. And the center, right guard, and right tackle are going to be working to these 3. So what does that mean as a tailback? That means you are locked on to one of these linebackers, whoever plugs first, and you got to be able to step up and meet it with physicality, which number 3 does right here. Look at that. He about daggum near takes this guy's helmet off right here in B gap. That's good stuff from number 3, and it's something you're going to have to do as a collegiate running back. Next up, we got James Cook, and I know you guys always wonder why and where I go to the film I go to. I went back to South Carolina because James Cook had 11 carries in this football game in 2018. Just for reference, he had 31 total carries this season at Georgia. And another thing I wanted to look at, and I would say of those 31 carries, 15 of them are in the jet sweep variety, where you're seeing him kind of come in this similar motion that number 2 is right here, where we call it flat jet out of, under center right here, where quarterback just turns around and open handoffs to a guy that's running jet, just trying to capture the edge real quickly. James Cook, I believe his first career touchdown was on a play similar to it. But nonetheless, you go to look at a film like this because I want to see how James Cook runs in the I formation, how he does taking a traditional handoff downhill, basically doing anything other than a jet sweep motion. I know he's fast. I know he can run around the edge and get vertical. What I want to see is whether or not he can run with patience and press the correct read, which he does right here. This is what we call inside zone. We've taught you this before. Guys are just on this pat right here. They're just taking a 45-degree step and getting on their angles. They're working combo blocks here, trying to get to the edge, trying to get, this ball moving in this direction. Okay, great job, first of all, by Trey Hill right here. Look at this. This is what we talked about the other day in his positional breakdown. We looked at him. Watch him take outside zone. That's just excellent stuff. Sorry, I know we're not here to talk about 55, but this is good offensive line play right there. He gets that guy reached all by himself. But anyways, watch this. Watch the patience number 4 runs with. And then like a really, really good inside zone runner or a guy who's ran this 100 times, they do this 1,000 times during practice. Just dry reps running these handoffs and whatnot. But this guy's taught to press the first down lineman past the center typically here. It looks like he's reading this defender, though. So he's reading Cade Mays' block here. But once he presses and look, boom, sticks his foot right in the ground there, and he's getting north and south through this little bitty channel right here. That's all inside zone and zone blocking scheme in general is set to create. It's set to create eventually at one point a channel for the running back to identify. The only thing is you've got to have running backs that have great vision. By the way, shout out to big old Sky Designs up here. Rather distracting, but I appreciate your work. I understand why you do this. But anyways, see the cut right there, and then the shiftiness to make. This is one thing about James Cook that I like. Watch these 2 guys, these 2 defenders that think they got a beat on him, and they just whiff, especially the safety. He thinks he's got a lock on number 6 right here, but he just whiffs. Okay. A very shifty defender, or a very shifty runner of the football. It's all over the tape when you look at it. I'm sure the very next clip he probably makes another couple guys miss. Okay. Well, that's just him, showing a little bit of power and patience. Look, 2nd and 1. He's identified the sticks. He knows what he's got to do. Don't get too fancy out there. Here's what I'm talking about, though. I'm sure this is another clip of him making a guy miss out in space. Just bouncing, and just getting in the hole and then running with power at the end. So he shows all the capabilities to do this. It's just whether or not he's going to get the opportunity. Again, the first defender rarely tackles this guy. And, he can run through arm tackles like that, too. He's pretty strong. Good stuff overall from James Cook when used properly. Going to see some good things here from Kinney Macintosh. This is a guy who's obviously very well coached, as all backs are at the University of Georgia under Dale McGee. But just take a look at watch him set these blocks up right here, especially the Demetrius Robinson block. One thing, tailbacks, you got to understand is obviously this guy right here is in this formation to block, though it's not what he's being paid. Getting a scholarship to do. He's getting a scholarship to catch football. So set his block up, which means if he's getting beaten to the outside, let him keep getting beat to the outside, which means press the block this way, and then once you get close to it, stick your foot in and get up inside. Okay, boom. Just like that right there, get you a couple extra yards. Another thing we got to notice here. Check out Eli Wolfe. Shout out Lawrence Cager. Check out Eli Wolfe right here. He's going to be in charge of just getting out here and supposed to be the lead blocker out here on the edge. Just outside zone blocking, just running and getting first level defender. But what he's going to notice is this linebacker right here is trying to scrape and cut up underneath this underneath this play and run it down from behind. Watch the footwork here from 17. Watch him almost backpedal into this block, gear down, and pick up this defender as he's trying to cut up underneath him. I'm telling you right now, that is next level stuff from number 17. And that's what tight ends are going to be needing to do at Georgia. These young guys, especially Darnell Washington, is going to have to figure out. And all he's going to have to do is turn on Charlie Warner and Eli Wolfe tape. That's good stuff. We'll see some more from Kinney here in a second. This right here is what made me want to say that Kinney Macintosh looks like a freshman version of DeAndre Swift. I mean, if I switched the 6 out for a 7, you would think that this is DeAndre Swift running this football. I mean, right here, boom. Did you see the stick? I mean, Georgia fans have been seeing this for 3 years. Watch this guy get made look really, really silly. Whoop. He makes Warren Ericson right here. Look, Warren Ericson is off of his feet. His feet are together. He's leaning. Number 12 is about to shuck his block inside and make this tackle right here on 2nd and 2 for a stop. But Kinney Macintosh presses the block again, and once he gets up into this right here, he sticks his inside foot in the ground and bounces out. It's dynamite stuff from a young back who, had no more than 9 carries in a football game all season. But when he did get the football, he made an impact, and that's what you love to see. We're going to show you a clip against Arkansas State. One of the better runs. I mean, granted, it's against FCS competition, but one of the better runs from any back this year at Georgia. But this right here is remnants of a guy by the name of Swift, in my opinion. All right, as promised, here's the clip I was talking about against Arkansas State. But as soon as I turned it on, I always like to watch these guys up front, see what happens. And, man, this guy's going to make a play that should end up on ESPN, but this dude right here is going to take a soul on this defensive tackle. So what they're doing is they're just doing a little quick trap right here. The right guard's going to show a high hat, which means he's going to give a high pad level to make this guy run upfield, and then immediately bypass him and go outside his shoulder for this dude at left guard to just clean his palate right here on this football play. Take a look at what Justin Schaefer does right here. I mean, holy smokes. Let's get into what Kinney does right here, though. Watch the dead leg, right? Yank. See you, number 20. No offense. And then the speed to just run away from folks. We're going to get a really good look at it right here, and a really good look at Justin Schaefer's block, I would imagine. You see just feet flying in there. But boom, number 20 has no chance. And then the speed, right? It looks almost identical to the run DeAndre Swift had a few years back against Auburn at home. the one where he ran into the end zone and pointed at his daddy. It's the same end zone over here as well. Just great stuff from Kinney. Just very, very early in his football career, and you're going to see things like this moving forward from number 6. And that's 6. All right. I cut the tape off, but I had to run it back because they showed Justin Schaefer flattening folks. Take a look. This is a really good look at this hi-hat over here. You see the little head nod? You're supposed to act right here as the right guard. He didn't do a very good job of acting, but he gets the action he wants from this D tackle. And Justin Schaefer's about to just clean his clock and just bury him. And good backside cut right there from number 6. And again, good downfield blocking from Tommy Bush and Kinney Macintosh taking it to the house. And last but certainly not least, we've got the kid from Clovis, Kendall Milton. And this clip right here, to me, is the epitome of what this guy does when the football is in his hands. And it's the reason I compare him to Le'Veon Bell, right? A bigger back, 6'1", 6'1.5", going to probably play at about 225, 230 pounds by the time he leaves college football. And though he's not a burner, he doesn't have to be because of these jump cuts you're about to see in the patience that he runs with. This is split zone. You've seen it 100 times from Georgia. And look at the jump cuts and then the ability to run away from guys. Okay, look, he's just setting guys up left and right at the top of this clip. Okay, he's going to show these two defenders that he's going to act like he's working out, knowing damn well he's working back into this middle of the field. And then how about you, hangover defender? You want to get back into the mix? Don't worry, you got no chance of tackling me either. The kid from Clovis is going to be really, really special at the next level. And speaking of the next level, how about this second level defender right here, thinking he's got a shot at tackling Mr. Milton, and then just getting yacked right there. And then a stiff arm to boot. And don't tell me, don't bring me the 4.65 speed, okay? This is California football. These guys can run too. This ain't him playing out in Montana now, okay? This is some speed as well. Jukes one, stiffs another, runs away from the rest. Kendall's going to be a really good football player at the second level, at any level, right? I mean, he's going to make guys miss with his short area quickness. And look at the fight and determination. This is a big physical back, just carrying folks and dragging them into the end zone. And then you got stuff like this where he can just, I don't care that you have the angle. And even if you do catch me, I'm going to drag you and beat your arm tackle into the end zone. Okay? And again, setting up defenders. I mean, he's probably got the best jump cut of any back in this class. And I really don't think it's close. I mean, I think he's gotten this guy twice in this same football game. It looks like the same uniform. Buddy's having a rough night. And then high stepping into the end zone. You can just see the pure size. And then how about this? We're just going to run a straight go. How about we get the ball to the best football player on the field for us, matched up against a linebacker in one-on-one situation. We're just going to send him on a go. This is some Madden type stuff. But look at him track the ball over his shoulders. Okay, look. This right here shows you that this guy is a natural catcher of the football. This ball's going to go right over his right shoulder. He's going to receive it properly and then take it the distance. Okay, that's a guy that's got good hands and a good natural catcher. A lot of tailbacks aren't natural catchers of the football. They got loud hands, right? When you hear it, it sounds like whop, right? A good receiver, you should not hear the ball hit their hands. I know it sounds kind of silly, but guys got natural hands, you shouldn't hear it. It's not very loud. But here's the speed again. I'm not here for all this talk about Kendall not having speed. Even if these guys are 4.6 runners right here. Both of these guys are locked in right now. They're going to try to meet Kendall at this point right here, and they're going to get flat blown out. Okay? No chance of catching. Good stuff from number 2. Excited to see him in Athens. See what he can do at the college level because stuff of this right here. I mean, it's why he's, a top 5 back in the 2020 class, and there's maybe the speed. I get it. But still, once you get there, he's going to give you a heavy stiff because he's 6'2", 230 pounds, and he's big and strong with, again, the best jump cut in the entire class, in my opinion. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that is our film session for today. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, if you haven't already, run over to Sports Illustrated's Bulldog Maven and check out all the fine print work we're doing over there. If you guys are a reader, I know a lot of people don't like to read nowadays, but don't worry, it's all informational. It's not any useless text over there. Whatever you're reading is informational, and you'll need it if you're a diehard Georgia fan. So we appreciate you guys for doing that. Again, that's si.com/college/Georgia. Do all that good YouTube stuffy as well, YouTubey stuff, excuse me, as well. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment, if you will, if you got any questions about what we did tonight. If you got anything you want to see moving forward, drop that in there. And, of course, subscribe. And tell your friends, man. Share this stuff. We're, a good, big football community. That's all I am, is a football, aficionado, somebody who loves the game and loves to teach it. So if you got someone who's interested in the game of football or interested in the, the small, intricate little details of the game, turn them on to the YouTube page. We appreciate you guys for all the support and all the love, man. We'll see you next time. We'll be doing these rather often from now on. See you.